I also just want to do our 5-minute showcases. So there's a number of members that can book in. This is voluntary, you don't have to do this. So from our gold level members up, you can book in to do a 5-minute showcase. And it is literally 5 minutes. So if I could just invite Mary Smith to come along and share what she does. So please make a warm welcome.
Thank you, Fleur. As Fleur said, my name is Mary. I'm a photographer. My business is Mary Smith Images. I haven't always been a photographer, so I'll tell you a little bit about me and where I've come from. My husband and I had a conventional business, we still do have, unfortunately, and we've had quite a bit of success in that business, but then in 2010 it took quite a hard hit, and the unexpected happened, and almost overnight our turnover diminished by 70%. So we had to start looking at other things that we wanted to do. And for me, it was photography and helping people. I really enjoy helping people and speaking about people to people when they're going through particularly challenging times, and helping them find out what's holding them back and what's holding them back from moving forward in their life and what they want to do there. I've finished my NLP training. I've actually got a book coming out to be released in a couple of months. And photography is the other thing I really enjoy. I also speak about photography. Sometimes that can be the importance of photography, professional photography in real estate, or it may just be helping somebody to get their camera off automatic and enjoy their creativity. So other than that, I really, sports photography, I'd have to say, is my passion within my passion. I really enjoy the challenge of capturing a moving subject, of capturing motion and emotion. So I'm often at sports events capturing images there. Corporate events is something else I enjoy covering. It's really nice to be able to get into an event, speak to people and bring out the best in them, and then capture that special moment in time. Commercial photography is something else I enjoy, and when I say commercial photography, it's so much more than just a photo of a product. Commercial photography, I believe, is about relationship marketing, because nowadays often the first image somebody gets of a business is either on a website or some sort of printed media, and that's why images are so important, so that a customer can feel that they've actually built a relationship with you before they come and contact you. And for an example, a bakery. I've done a photo shoot for a bakery, and a bakery comes to life at 10 p.m, 11 p.m. at night. So that's when I'm in there, when the flowers flying through the air, there's hands in the dough. It's just important to capture those sort of things and just show what a business is all about. So if anybody's looking for some photography, whether it's to tell the story of your business in a commercial sense, capturing those images for corporate photography, or capturing motion and emotion in sports, I'd love to talk to you. So thank you very much. I've got some of my work here tonight, so please feel free to have a look. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mary. So the frame pieces, there's a couple of pieces out here. Are they in the foyer or is it just out here? So if you want to go for a little browse, because the format is very short, formal presentation, and then we're going back into networking and food and that kind of thing. So just feel free to move through the foyer area. So on that note, there's more of Mary's work in the foyer if you'd just like to go and have a look. And if you've got any questions, please ask Mary or myself. One of my very original business was selling artworks and art prints. So I'm very excited at the work that Mary chose to bring tonight. So, and she's a very soulful person. She's a very easy person to deal with. So if you're wanting someone to blend in for your event or whatever, she's a great person to do that. So thank you, Mary. And the other 5-minute showcase is for Evan Porter. Oh, there you are, hiding. So yeah, I was like going, there's the tallest man in the room and I can't find him. So Evan Porter is one of our members as well, so please make a very warm welcome.
Thank you. I would rather not be speaking into this, but I understand that I have to do it as well. So my name's Evan Porter. It was interesting when Fleur mentioned this, I said, what's the theme? And I didn't actually get a response to that, but it was okay. I did the presentation anyway. But that's okay, because what Brian talked about in relation to how you deal with your customers is one of the key things with what I do in my business. So my business is called Just Talents. And what I do is I'm a facilitator, coach, consultant and presenter, or speaker, whatever you want to say. And I work with organisations to help them build a culture of excellent customer service. All of a sudden that sounds like it's working now. So I'm sort of with it again now. What spins out of that is I also work with leadership. I do communication skills training. I also do personal development training as well. So I love the story about the importance of the customer, because one of the key things that I like asking anyone I work with is, who's the most important person in your business? So who's the most important person in your business? Staff? Customer. Why is the customer the most important person in your business? Exactly. So what I love saying is, if you don't have customers, you don't have a business. You know what you've got? A hobby. Right? It might be a really cool hobby. You might be really excited about it. But isn't that true? If you don't have customers, you don't have a business. So it's interesting working with organisations and working with people. When you ask that question, you get some really interesting answers. So what I generally find is the owners of the business, or the people that are driving the business, get really strongly that it's all about the customer. It's often when you work down in different layers of the business, is everyone on board? Now, are your employees and your staff an important part of your business? Absolutely. You know what we call those in customer service speak? They're internal customers. Right? So customer service isn't just about your external customers, it's also about how you manage those internal customer service relationships as well. So why customer service for me? I was raised on a farm, and then my first job was in banking, so I learnt really quickly. I got sort of thrown in as a teller as a shy country kid, and I learnt how to deal with customers really quickly. I did that for about 8 years, and then decided to do a sports science degree. Finally moved out of that field. So I've been coaching for about 25 years or something now. Then I worked at Telstra for about 10 years. 9 of that was in learning and development. And we put together a lot of customer service programs there. And it was interesting, at the end of the last year just gone, I left an organisation where I was a director and an owner. It was a training organisation. And as I've developed my own business now, which is Just Talents, I actually drifted a little bit away from customer service. So some of you might have heard me do a 5-minute presentation where I talked about the strengths profiling and the personal development that I do. You know what I've found as the years gone by, this year's gone on, I've actually been drawn back to working in customer service. And people that know me well say, Evan, why aren't you playing in that space? You do really well in that space. And it's because, I guess from a young age, I've inherently got the importance of the customer. They are the most important person in your business. And if you look at internal customers, then they're really important as well. So last night I ran a presentation which was all about customer service and creating a culture of great customer service, and I called it Customer Service, Why Bother? Does that sound like a pretty cool name? Right? It's a little bit how I like to work with organisations and how I like to train as well. I like to ask lots of questions. So if someone says to me, our customer service is fantastic, I go, that's really good. How do you know? So how do you know your customer service is really good? Absolutely, yeah. All right. And that's something for you all to think about. They're the sorts of things that we need to be thinking about in our business. When we're putting together a strategy for how our business operates, whether we're the owner or whether we're just a key person in that, is your customer front and centre when you're thinking about your business strategy? Because sometimes we make changes to an organisation from a process point of view. Can anyone relate to that? You know, you've got to tweak processes all the time, and sometimes it makes perfect sense why you change a process, because it's more profitable. It makes it easier. It makes it more streamlined. The question that I would ask if I'm working with an organisation is, have you thought about that change you're making from the external customer's point of view, or have you just thought about it for an internal reason? So these are all things that you need to think about when it comes to working with customers, because they are the most important part of your business. They're also the most fascinating, aren't they? You think about it. The other thing with dealing with customers is that every single one of you in the room, every single person in the organisation actually relates, or hopefully can relate to customer service, because everyone's a customer themselves. Does that make sense? We're all customers. So sometimes it's actually getting people to think about, well, how would I like to be treated if I was in this situation? So it's a fascinating field. It involves people. People are different. People are interesting. People are fun. People are challenging, aren't they? They're all of those things. But those wonderful things make up your customers, and it's your customers are the ones that actually make your business succeed or fail, and how well you look after them, how well you get them to come back and keep buying. So if anyone's interested in any of the offerings I've actually got a workshop that's coming up on the 8th of November. Come and see me, come and have a chat. Or if you just want to talk about how good the Dockers are going to be next year, you can talk to me about that as well. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Evan. There is definitely a consistent theme throughout our community of world-class or excellence of customer service. That's demonstrated by our hosts here. Mary Smith certainly demonstrates that in her work, and Evan Porter is mildly obsessive about it, but in a good way. So I went along to his presentation last night. I encourage you to go along to anything that he has to offer, because he's got a lot of, it really gets you thinking. There was a few things I'm like going, can improve on that, but I was like going, yes, we're doing that right, yay! So it's also really good for that. And on that note, the reason why we're here, one of the reasons, is because we do survey our members twice a year, and a lot of the feedback was to have a more regular events that are focused on networking and shorter. So our traditional events from 6 till 9:30 when we've got a main guest speaker. But to keep it short, because frankly everyone's exhausted midweek, and also not always to be in the CBD. So that's what we're doing. We're listening to our members and offering you a variety. So feel free to give me feedback, but as the members know, if you give it to me verbally tonight, I will forget, not because I'm being disrespectful, but by the end of tonight, so much has happened in this day before we happen, so please send me an email, text message, or arrange to meet me face to face. So again, I just want to mention to the guests in the room, we are a membership organisation. If you want to talk about that with me, ask any questions, please let me know. And I don't think I have any other member spotlights I promised tonight. Just checking in case someone's going, it was me, Fleur, it was me. So I think that's it, that we've come to our formalities. Our next event, I'm pretty sure, is the 9th of November. It's generally the second Wednesday of the month. And we're going off to Osborne Park to Sondergaard Accountants. Now, Alida was planning on being here this evening, so hopefully she's okay. And they will be hosting out at Osborne Park, and it's just off the freeway. So it's very super easy to get there. If you've got any questions about anything, please let me know, and please ask questions of Brian and Michelle. Michelle, where are you? Can you wave your hand? So Brian, Michelle, and Jimmy also from the business. The team is here. So please ask them any questions about cars. They love cars, and I love coming into their workshop and go, ooh, what's that car? Well, not that car in particular, but I was asking about that car. Can you believe that's a Volvo? Maybe it's because it's up off the ground. It looks better. Anyway, sorry if you... Sorry? That one? Oh, no comment. Anyway, let's not have this discussion while it's being filmed. And make no judgments about cars. Whatever you drive, I'm sure these guys will help you. Anyway, so now we'll go into networking, and we'll have some food, and so thank you.